Hey everybody, Lucas here, all on day's work, signing on. Alrighty guys, so we got a couple stories that we want to talk about, but for now we're just going to touch on just my thoughts and opinions on what exactly is going on in Cuba. Now, if you don't know, protests erupted over in Cuba. Some people would say that it's because they're lacking access to health care, they're lacking access to COVID-19 vaccines. If you happen to listen to the press secretary, um, they are. So, from everything that I can gather, from what I can read and what I can find, these protests are anti-government. Now, if you don't know, the government in Cuba is a communist dictatorship, um, which, from everything that you can hear from our government, they fully support it down there. Now, I distinctly remember a time not too long ago where we was openly against communism. We was openly against socialism. And now, for some reason, we're openly supporting it when communism and socialism is some of the leading causes of death. And like, I'm not just talking about like people dying here and there. I'm talking about in the millions. I actually read an article that stated that between 1917 and 2017, I believe is what it was, between 60 to 150 million people have died because of communism slash socialism. And they was leaning more towards the higher end of that simply through recent studies. Now, 60 to 150 million people. Now, let's look at that in perspective. The United States has 330 million people in it, more or less, right? Let's just go on the low end and say about 60 million people if we were to transition between a communist from capitalism to communism slash socialism. 60 million people, that lowers us from 330 million people down to about what, 270 million people. Now, that doesn't seem like much in the grand scheme of numbers, but that's a lot of freaking people. Now let's go on the high end. That's almost half the number of people in the United States gone if we was a transition from a capitalist society to a socialist slash communist society. All right, and we have what blows my mind is we have government officials out there openly supporting communism and socialism. This whole democratic socialist is just bullcrap. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as a democratic socialist. You're either a full-blown socialist, which we have people in our elected offices that are full-blown communists and socialists, in my opinion. Now, this is ridiculous. Capitalism is the greatest economic system, in my personal opinion, that we've seen across this world. All right, and this is why. Capitalism, it does not care if you're white, it does not care if you're black, Asian, Hispanic, does not care. If you are come up with a good idea, a good product, a good service, it doesn't matter. You can become rich as crap. Let's talk about all the number of people, it doesn't matter regardless of race, that has created something and become multimillionaires. Let's talk about it, all right? How many in communist or socialist countries can you go from almost nothing to living on the street homeless to being multi-millionaires? Let's just look at professional athletes. LeBron James came from a single mother household. I think he signed a multi-million-dollar deal right out of high school for Nike. Let's talk about Zion Williamson. Signed a $90 million Nike deal right out of college. Where else in any other economy can you do that? I'll wait. I'll wait. Now, is there some issues? Yes, as far as like banks lending loans, understandable. But I'm telling you, this is the greatest country in the world. Only in this country can you go from homeless, barely eating, and make decisions, be able to move, and then increase and move up the wealth ladder. Only in this country. Like, it blows my mind how many people out there. People are like, oh, socialism, free healthcare. Let's look at the VA. It's essentially a socialist social program for healthcare. Let's talk about how many veterans die waiting for healthcare. Like, I heard it said once, when you go into a communist socialist economy, that you now have doctors doing lawn work, yard work, and you have yard workers, maintenance workers performing surgeries. There's no excess in these countries. There's a reason why some of these countries have starvation, failure to provide basic services like houses, food, shelter, protection, as far as public safety. There's a reason for this. There's an absolute reason for this. Only in this country do we have the freedoms that we have, and it's because we're a capitalist society. And there's a reason why our founding fathers said that we must fight for freedom. This is the last stand. This is the last place. There's a reason why Cubans are trying to get over here by boat, because they're trying to run away from communism. There's a reason why people that have fled communism and socialism, that have came to this country and became U.S. citizens, are so vocal about not allowing communism/socialism to come to this country. Like, people think, oh, if we become a communist or socialist economy, it'll be a utopia. Never has that happened. Never. Look at Cuba, which has a population of maybe 100 million or so, right? And they can't even get it right. What makes you think we're going to get it right? What makes you think that we have 3 times the number of people? And I'm just guessing here. That's not accurate. That's not an accurate number. I'm just guessing. But we are 3 times as big, and it's never going to work. We can barely provide for people here. How many? Look across the inner cities. Look across any big city. Just about every intersection that you go to, there are people. They're homeless. There are people there that are starving. Look, like I said, let's look at healthcare. People are dying waiting for veterans healthcare. Just like Anthony said in numerous podcast episodes, that he was waiting for months just to get an appointment. This is what happens in a socialist economy, and it's just ridiculous how we got so many people out there openly promoting this. This is not what America was founded on. There's a reason why this is the greatest country in the world. And this is why we need to build on top of what we already have and continue to make it better, instead of just throwing it away because of some inequalities. And just like, oh, screw it, we're going to go to something else. No. When you have communist and socialist countries, you have genocide, you have mass killings, you have starvation. Like, I saw a picture of somebody, I think it was in Zimbabwe, where he held a sign like a panhandler would, and it literally said "starving billionaire" and had money plastered to the whole front side of it. Like, it blows my mind that people can be this stupid. Now, like I said, I am in full support of some social programs, but to outright stop what we have and to transition right into a socialist communist country economy, I don't want no part of it. Don't want no part of it. Give me capitalism and allow me the freedom to make my own decisions, to do what I want to do. If I want a job, that's fine. I'll work. If I want to create my own company, that's fine. I'll do that. Allow me the choice to be able to do that. In a socialist communist country, guess what? Especially, I believe it's in communism, where everything is decided by the government. If you don't need it, it ain't going to happen. And a lot of times, even if you need it, it ain't gonna happen because somebody else needs it more. No, like all these rich celebrities out there promoting this stuff, I don't see none of them practicing what they preach. A lot of these people out there that are multi-millionaires, don't see none of them distributing their wealth. Don't see none of them providing money to inner cities to help fix education, to help house homeless people, to help provide for single parents. Don't see none of it. And I believe it was even in California where they was holding like a Grammy or some kind of a awards show. Well, they was moving homeless people out of the way because they didn't want them there. Like, these are the people that we listen to for political advice. People that don't know anything about economy and that are only paid because they're good actors. This is exactly why I'm a firm believer that if you're going to listen to somebody, then look at their credentials. Are they even good people to listen to? And hey, maybe you're looking at me right now thinking, is this a good person to listen to? I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know everything, but I have strong feelings about a lot of things, and I may be dumb, but I ain't that stupid. So all we gotta do is look around. The evidence is there. I think we need to stop listening to these Hollywood celebrities and these elites, people that have been rich their whole life and are so far removed from real life that they don't know anything. Like, I believe there was one celebrity, I don't remember who she was, where she said during the course of the pandemic, she ate bread for the first time, or whatever. And this is the people that we're listening to. Oh, I'm so sorry that you had to eat bread. It blows my mind, guys. So, my little rant on Cuba and communism and socialism. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. We gotta fight, guys. We gotta fight for our economy, and I'm not talking about actively fighting, getting weapons together. I'm sorry. We need to continue to use our voices and make our politicians hear us. That hey, we're not gonna stand for this. We want capitalism. This is freedom in this country, and we're not gonna stand for anything else. This is what I mean by fight. Don't forget to go to the YouTube channel, like, share, support, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go to the Facebook page, go to our website at allthedays.com. Make sure you pick up, some t-shirts, donate if you feel it, share it out. Please, we're trying to get this word out here. Again, thank you guys for all the support. We appreciate it. Till next time, guys.